The Ghostbusters franchise is back with a brand new installment called Ghostbusters Afterlife. This one's directed by the son, Jason Reitman, of the original director, Ivan Reitman, of the Ghostbusters film back in the 1980s. Who are you going to call? I'm going to let you know if this is one you should call on this weekend right after this. It's the Outlaw John Rocha here with a review for you for Ghostbusters Afterlife on the Outlaw Nation channel. Before I get into the review, I just want to remind you all to please subscribe to the channel down below. Hit that subscribe button, hit that bell button so you see when we're dropping all the new content we do here on the Outlaw Nation channel. And if you're a Twitch person, head on over to Twitch, follow and subscribe to me there, the Outlaw Nation, all one word. And later on, I'll let you know how you can be part of the Patreon to support everything we're doing here on the Outlaw Nation channel. Get some pretty cool benefits in exchange as well. All right, Ghostbusters Afterlife. This is coming out this weekend. Of course, as I said, it's directed by Jason Reitman, the son of Ivan Reitman, the original director. He's an executive producer on this as well. Ivan Reitman is on this film. And it stars Carrie Coon, Finn Wolfhard, Grace McKenna, Paul Rudd, and Bill Murray, Dan Aykroyd, Ernie Hudson, Sigourney Weaver, and Annie Potts from the original Ghostbusters films come on back to have some cameos, or a little bit more than cameos, throughout the film. And sadly, not returning from the original cast is Harold Ramis, who of course played Egon Spengler. Ramis, such a fantastic writer, comedian, actor, but unfortunately passed away a few years ago, so he was not able to be in the movie, but his energy, his presence, his aura is all over this movie. The movie itself focuses on his daughter, Spengler's daughter, that's Callie, played by Carrie Coon here, with her two kids, Grace McKenna and Finn Wolfhard as Phoebe and Trevor. Callie is essentially not doing well in life, and the kids are not doing that well in life, even though they seem pretty intelligent and on the ball. They're not doing that well financially in life. So when they get the news that her father has passed, Callie grabs the kids, gets what she can into the car, and they take off to the small town Summerville to explore why Egon Spengler left his family to go and live in this small town, and what's been going on here. So Callie carries a lot of resentment, a lot of anger, a lot of frustration about being left by her father. Clearly loved her father, but was clearly damaged by him leaving her. She drinks a lot. She's not good with money, but she has raised two pretty on-the-ball kids there in Phoebe and Trevor. And we see Grace McKenna do fantastic work. We'll get to the things that I liked and didn't like in the movie in just a second. But yeah, they get to the town. They kind of try to figure things out. Phoebe ends up becoming friends with this kid called Podcast. Trevor starts to have feelings for a young girl who works there in town. And Callie herself even kind of runs into and sparks a possible romance with Paul Rudd's character, who is a science teacher, but you find out there's something more going on there. And as the movie goes along, you find out exactly why Spengler was there. I'm not going to ruin it. This is non-spoiler review, but you find out why Spengler was there and how it's tied to the original movie. That's the basic premise of this whole movie. So let's get into the things that I liked. And certainly the acting is the number one place to start. I think McKenna Grace is an absolute standout in this movie. She's funny. She's on the ball. She's she kind of channels Spengler, but does her own twist on it and builds her own character, which I think is fun to watch for sure. And she has a number of wonderful interactions with her mom, her and her brother Trevor, Finn Wolfhard's character. It's nice to see a brother-sister relationship that isn't at each other's throats all the time, or cutting each other down or whatever. There's actually genuine affection there for each other. And certainly she seems to be the most mature, the most adult of them all in this family, because Callie is just kind of lost in her pain and her grief. And Trevor's, he's 15 years old. So there's a lot of hormones going all over the place. And McKenna does a great job. She has fantastic interactions with Podcast as well. So she's the reason to watch this movie. She's the most fleshed out of all the characters in this movie. They just spend a lot of time building up Phoebe, and rightfully so, because she's in essence taking on the mantle of Spengler and carrying that legacy forward. Carrie Coon, I think, does a really good job for what she's given, and she's also tied to some of the things that I don't like about the movie. Not her herself, but some of the things they did with the character. But I really enjoy her in the movie. For the most part, I think Finn Wolfhard, fantastic job for what he's given, and he's not given much, but for what he's given, he makes it work for sure. You've got a number of other actors throughout the film that I think do a really nice job. And when the original Ghostbusters and other original cast members show up, for me, it's a nice moment. And I think the end works completely when all the stuff starts to come together. I think that's another positive about the movie for sure. The ending actually works for me. It might not work for everybody. I think some people might get upset about it, but I liked it. I thought it was really cool. And when I was kind of on the fence about liking the movie while I was watching it, that ending pushed me over into liking the movie. The direction from Jason Reitman is really well done here. Some nice intimate moments. I think he does a great job directing those, and the action sequences throughout the town when they've got Ecto 1 rolling and they're shooting that little machine or the little contraption that lets Phoebe slide out from the side and shoot. That is badass. So there's a lot of really good action sequences, and I enjoy the stuff with the ghosts and the spirits and all of that. The pacing of the film is fine. The direction is fine. The cinematography is good. The music is good. Those are also positives about the movie. Here's some of the negatives for me in terms of the film. There is way too much cliche fan service stuff, and it does start to grate on you as the film goes along, because it almost feels like they're going, hey, do you get it? Huh? Do you get it? Like they have a character in the film actually say, who are you going to call, in a moment to try to get a reaction from the audience. So it seems like they're pandering as opposed to organically having this kind of fan service throughout the movie. I also think the character development in this film is not well done. I mean, we're giving a lot of surface. We're giving a lot of surface character development, but nothing below the surface. And that gets very, very frustrating. Even with Callie, and Carrie Coon is an incredible actress, but she's basically, it feels like she's doing the leftovers work in a Ghostbusters movie, because there's a lot of pain and anger and sadness and bitterness inside Callie for what Egon Spengler did to her, what her dad did to her. But that comes through in a way that makes you kind of like question Spengler. And why do I want to spend a movie questioning a guy who I really thought was the best Ghostbuster of them all? A really nice, genuine guy. Why do I want to spend that time doing that? So it seemed like an odd decision to make. Also, the plot conveniences in this movie just kind of get to you, how things just seem to work out, how Phoebe seems to pick things up really quickly and figure things out really quick. She's intelligent, of course, but this is old technology. You still need to spend some time figuring this stuff out. And so it just feels like it's too quick from, whoa, wait, this is happening. Boom, this is happening. This is happening. This is happening. And all of it was too convenient how it all kind of worked out for them. And they got into places that they shouldn't have gotten into, and were able to break into certain places, were able to get into certain areas. And I just don't think there was enough there that you kind of bought that these conveniences were okay. It kind of gets on your nerves that they're making things work out as opposed to organically making things work out within the flow of the movie. That really bothered me. Also, some of the couplings really make no sense. They kind of throw Paul Rudd and Carrie Coon together. Hey, we're the two only single people in the town. Let's start a relationship, and it just didn't feel like organic. It didn't feel correct. Didn't feel right. Just felt weird. And also Trevor, I get the Trevor, he immediately sees Lucky, that's Celeste O'Connor's character, and immediately finds an attraction for her. So he spends most of the movie trying to get with her, but there's not much there, because she's initially pretty rude to him, and then out of nowhere, all of a sudden, she's really nice and kind to him. So it just they're doing it for convenience sakes, and it just gets so frustrating as you're watching the movie. Another thing is, I think some of the script here is not good. Some of the stuff they try to do, other than the meta stuff or the comment or using lines from the past, from the movie, other movies and stuff like that. Also, they saddle podcast with some pretty bad, like, hey, I'm gonna be cute moments, right? It's nothing against Logan Kim. I think Logan Kim is doing the best he can with that script, but like you're listening to these moments, it's like, hey, this is when the cute kid's supposed to say cute things, and hey, let me be on the nose and call myself podcast. I was like, oh my god, what are we talking about here? So it just kind of took some of the magic away from the film. And that's 100% what I feel is there's not enough magic here to really kind of enjoy fully. McKenna Grace is the reason to see this movie. I mean, if nothing else, this movie is a vehicle for people to see the talent of McKenna Grace, cast her more things, and keep the ascension of her going. See McKenna Grace do her thing, I think, is the real point of this movie, because everything else kind of falls apart until the end. I love the ending. I'm going to say this 100 times. Love that ending. Really saves the movie for me, really worked for me. I got emotional. I connected with it. And I thought if that ending hadn't been in there, I think I would have been even more against the film for sure. So in the end, I give the film 3 cowboy hats. That's where it lands. 3 cowboy hats. Really was hoping for a film that would veer into the 4 cowboy hats, or possibly even challenge the 5 cowboy hats. But 3 cowboy hats is where I land. Ghostbusters Afterlife is just okay. It has fun moments, and McKenna Grace, as I said, is an absolute standout. Sadly, the weak character development, exorbitant plot conveniences, performative cute moments, like I'm mentioning with podcast, and inorganic fan service betray the film. But again, damn if that ending didn't get me. So if nothing else, maybe that inspires you to go see the movie. And I'm never going to tell you all not to go see a movie. Go see Ghostbusters Afterlife. Make up your own mind. And let me know what you thought of the movie in the comments section below. Let me know what you thought of this review in the comments section below as well. Remember to like this video and share it on your social media. When you share it on your social media, you're telling your friends and family, hey, the Outlaw Nation is a cool place to come and enjoy some content. And if you want to have more of an interactive part and geek out with us here on the Outlaw Nation, and please head on over to the Patreon, patreon.com/John Rocha. See all the multiple tiers you can support the Outlaw Nation and get some awesome benefits. All right, y'all take care of yourselves. Be well. We'll talk to you next time with another brand new review here from the Outlaw Nation.